So thank you, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the Life Caddy podcast. Today, again and always, we have Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike. We changed venues, Dr. Mike. We are now at your...
We're on site here at Apple Med because in case any one of us need extra medical attention, it's better to be on site here, and we're healthier, right, Marco?
No, yeah, I don't like this room, and we're gonna change actual location within the site, but for now this works. Evolution. You know what I wanted to say? What I wanted to say first off was I have so much appreciation for people who actually do podcasts weekly, who actually stick through it, who have the balls, even on a Wednesday. Like, I don't feel like doing this today at all. That even they persevere, they do it every week, and those people are to be commended. I'm commending you people who do that, because this is tough. This is tough getting here and doing this. I mean, this will be the fourth or the third, I think, something like this. And so the people will be, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is this is tough. This is not easy to do on a weekly basis. And people who do it, you need to be commended for doing it. So props to all people who do podcasts and even have the balls to do it. Even have the balls to go on camera and edit it every week and get it out there and publish it every week, which we even haven't started even doing yet. But we're doing it every week. We have a few in the can now. So, Matt, what do you think? I mean, it's fucking tough, man. What do you think, Mike?
I think it is, but like you mentioned, anything that you do consistently is going to lead to trends, and anything consistently that is done routinely it's like a muscle. Once you practice, you get perfect and you get better, but also there's going to be people
getting better.
And there's going to be people that are actually going to benefit from this. This is
definitely getting better.
It's the whole point, right?
Matt wants us to talk about a few things this week. The number one thing, I sound like a fuck. Yeah, I'm tired. You know what happened last night? My wife went to a concert, and I was waiting for her to come home because I can't sleep if my wife is out.
No, you want to make sure
everything. I want to make sure she's okay, right? I got to make sure she comes home. Her, on the other hand, she can go to sleep. She goes to my mouth, she goes to sleep. It's all good. But me, on the other hand, I worry, so I stay up. And she wasn't coming home. 3 in the morning, 2-3 in the morning, I started, what the fuck's going on? She's not home at 2-3 in the morning. I started calling, texting, freaking out. And then 3 in the morning, I even called the person that she went to the concert with. I go, where's my wife? Like, what's going on? Where are you guys? Do you know where my wife is? She goes, no, left the concert 2 hours ago. Then I started freaking.
Oh, man.
Now I'm freaking. I'm going up and down, I'm stressing.
Kids are sleeping.
No, my son kept on waking up. So I kept on going upstairs, coming down, go upstairs, coming down. He's got itchy. We'll talk about that too. He's itching since Jamaica. Anyways, I go upstairs and I'm lying with him, and then I go downstairs and I call this lady. I go, where's my wife? Okay, she's home. She must be home. So I go, me. I walk around the house. I go into our bed because my 2 kids were in our bed. So she's in bed with the 2 kids. She had been there for like an hour and a half. I didn't even know.
What a show.
So I was up till 3:30 in the morning. I'm tired. You know how tired I am right now? Okay, we get up at 6:30. I had 3 hours sleep. Oh. So that's why I'm trying to say. Today is all days I felt like saying, you know what, Mike, I don't want to do this today, but I'm here. We're persevering. We're doing it. We're adding muscle memory. Okay, so Mike, back to Matt's agenda. Matt,
It's actually triple M.
Oh my God.
It's like Matt, Mark, and Mike. Oh, so it's the Dr. Matt, Mark, and Mike show.
Well, he's becoming quite the showrunner because
Dr. Triple M.
He's got a whole list of things he wants me to talk to. So let's get to it. Let's get to it right away.
Let's go.
He wants to talk about tap water. Tap water and what's in tap water and what's with filtering.
Should we even filter? I guess the question is, should we even filter? Is it worth it? I have, there's a lot of people that come into, of course, the office, and the first thing they ask is it okay to drink tap water? And we actually ask that on our intake form. When you fill it out, if you drink tap water, it's important. There's reasons. Because first of all, tap water is contaminated. We know that. But what's in it? Well, you're not going to like this, Marco.
I don't drink tap water. I don't give a fuck.
But a lot of those medications that human beings take go into the urine and end up in our water stream, unfortunately. And that's gross and disgusting, but the answer is true. And fluoridation, which has hugely been accepted in I think it was the early 70s or 80s, the fluoridation took place as a result of reducing the susceptibility of dental caries. So that's cavities. So they decided to put fluoride in the water. Fluoride's a thyroid killer. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Fluoride actually will harm and inhibit thyroid hormone functioning. So tap water, high in fluoride, you can smell it, right? You can smell the fluoride. So I actually don't even cook in tap water. My whole house is filtered. So, and I'll explain to you as to why. So we have
wait. Let me ask a question, because I love talking about what you actually do rather than what everybody should do. Your water is filtered, even the shower water?
Yeah. So I have a whole house filtration system. It's huge.
Where does it go? Where does the filter go in to, like, where does the water source from the city start? Where does the filter go?
So the filter goes right from the water that comes in from the city. The filter actually attaches to that, and before any water enters my house, it bypasses that exact outlet. So city water comes in, my huge filtration water softening system comes in, and it's a huge tank, and then it filters the entire water. And this all started, and I'm going to tell you why. My son said to me, I was bringing him glasses of water upstairs to rinse his mouth and brush his teeth when he was a small boy. And I said to myself, don't drink that water. He says, why, Dad? I like drinking the water from the tap. And I said, all right. So I found a solution. I said, that's it. I'm getting a water filtration system for the whole house. And I did that. And you know what? It's the best thing. And the reason why is not only do you have contaminants such as fluoride, PCBs, toxins, there's metals, there's leads. But let's get further and let's talk about the real biggest problem right now. And believe it or not, it has a lot to do with medications and estrogens and hormones and a lot of stuff, because a lot of people are on the oral birth control pill, and this actually comes through into the urine and into our stream, and it does not get filtered. It's very challenging. Another thing that's even worse is glyphosates. So glyphosates now are all over our water system. Now, what is glyphosates? You're going to ask. Marco's going to ask this. I'm just going to jump.
What is glyphosates?
So glyphosates are the pesticide sprays that have been utilized in the last 20 years in this country. And Monsanto, who is probably one of the worst companies, unfortunately, that invented this, is the Roundup, which is the weed killer. This has been linked to many cancers, many illnesses, pro-inflammatory conditions. It's in our streams because here's what happens.
So we have big thumbs down to
big thumbs down
to Roundup.
Big thumbs down for Roundup. So if anybody there is binding Roundup and is spraying it on, this is what you're doing. You're spraying it on your driveway because you say, I have an interlocked driveway. I see all the old men, because it's now banned. Like this, you can't buy it anymore, but you get it from the US. And you can spray it. So they spray it on their driveway and in their interlock between the cracks because it kills the weeds. That's when it rains, that residue is going into our sewer systems. When it rains on a farm, there's runoff. It's called runoff. That goes into our streams, our sewers, our oceans, our lakes. This is actually contaminating our entire world. You can look on a map of Canada and find out the glyphosate content in that particular province. What you'll find, and this is very interesting. This is interesting.
I fucking believe it.
You will find that Thunder Bay, so quite north, has the lowest amount of glyphosates sprayed in all of Canada. Now think about what's in Thunder Bay. Nothing. Moose. There's nothing in Thunder Bay. There's nobody there.
Think about what's in Thunder Bay. Nothing.
So it's all non-sprayed, but there's a lot of people that go hunting and fishing there and get a lot of natural ecosystems and et cetera, et cetera. So this is where it's happening. Now, the kicker is, how do we clean How do we clean our water system? We need clean water. So, is your Brita filter enough? Now, we got to give some thumbs up, a little bit of thumbs up to Brita, because the carbon filtration system is big, but there's also the refrigerators that you can buy, which Appliance Love sold me mine, and it comes with a filtration system that actually filters my. Now, check this out. I got a water filtration system in my whole house. It's going to that outlet. Now, if I have an extra carbon filtration system for my ice and for my water out my fridge, is that just going to help me more? The answer is yes.
But does it remove well, my question is now, does it remove the minerals, some of the minerals that you'd want in water?
So Brita has stages. The refrigeration systems that we purchased from you a way back, those are big filters. They're like this big. They're mega. So they're a big carbon filter. The problem with the Brita filters, there's the different stages. They have a little small one that's a little too short. And they have cheap stages, but then they have really good ones and bigger ones and like big vats. I think the higher quality ones are going to be the bigger ones. So the ones in the fridges are decent. They're better than nothing. But now here's the question. Do we want to consume bottled water? Or do we want to consume tap water? Because most people say, I'm better off drinking the tap water. Why? It's free, and I'm not going to get the microplastics. You're wrong. You're wrong. Because you're going to get the pseudoestrogens still in the tap water. Microplastics are there as well. Now, you're not getting the xenoestrogens and the hormone disruptors that are in the plastic water bottles. So we have to say to ourselves, what's better? Well, the plastic water bottles either are ozonized, which is basically filtered because ozone just goes through and then they do like UV light and it gets rid of all the contaminants, or it becomes just filtered using reverse osmosis, depending on what type. I'm going to get into reverse osmosis in a second. But you want to clear out all the toxins and you want to drink a clean bottle of water. So now it's laden with plastics and xenoestrogens that are going to turn men into hormones,
into women,
into female hormones and pseudoestrogens, xenoestrogens. Plastic water bottles are going to give you this. So you want to start. So I love clean water. And if you want to buy glass water bottles, it's the absolute best. And you can buy this like things like Voss. High Voss,
or
Canadian
Cedar Springs. Cedar Springs
delivers the glass.
Cedar Springs. Matt's punching because he wants you to deliver the knockout punch. So some of the brands that you can buy that you know to be well filtered or in glass bottles are, you just mentioned one,
Voss.
We drink in my household. We drink Cedar Springs. We get it delivered in the big
Aquafuji. Shout out to Aquafuji. From Molizana Imports.
In the glass bottles, we get them delivered. So I don't know if
Aquafuji's good.
I don't know how that water compares, and maybe I should have it tested because we pay money for it. It's like $20. We get $11 back, but it's $26 a thing.
So the problem with that, I did some research on it. Sorry, Marco.
Fuck, here we go.
Yeah. So they actually wash it with bleach.
The inside of the bottles?
Yeah. So the glass bottle has to be sanitized. And I asked them this and they said, yeah, we have to use a bleach toxin. I was like, but what do? Do you put the water in there right after? So now you don't even want to know what bleach does. So.
Can we test my water?
We can test it. Yeah, we can.
We can test it?
Yeah, we can test it.
That's another knockout punch, Matt. If you want to test your water, this is how you do it. Find the link below.
The best water, absolute best water to drink is reverse osmosis. Now, I use Wise Water. They're a company here out in Nobleton and Vaughan. They'll come to your house, they'll analyze your water, and they'll give you like a 7 to 6 stage water filtration system. Here's the deal with reverse osmosis. It's great, but it strips the water of every single mineral, nutrient, particle, bacteria.
Yeah, okay.
It's absolutely going to clean it.
So how do we add that back in?
You got to add it back in, Marco. You have to add it back in. And there's a cartridge.
But how do you do it?
There's a cartridge that they add, and it's made from coral, natural coral. And it has manganese, magnesium, potassium, phosphate, and it remineralizes. So if you have a reverse osmosis filter and you saw it at Costco and you want to buy it, and it's $3.99 and you're like, I'm going to install it myself, make sure you get a remineralized option, or that product is nothing.
Okay,
You will
so-
rob your cells of minerals.
Some conclusions here. Some conclusions here. Number one, I gotta test my water because I'm paying for this water, and if it has bleach in it, I'm really upset. Number one.
Get rid of that source. And just going to tell you right now, you're better off just getting a filtration system right under your sink.
Yeah.
It'll cost you. Actually, Wise Water will donate one to you because we're going to be doing some videos for them. And I will call them, and they will actually put one into your home.
Okay.
And you'll try the difference. And you'll test your urine after. This is how you can test if the water you are drinking is good or bad. Right? We
Test
want
your
it.
urine.
You can test your urine for alkalinity. So I had a patient, and this
Now
is
there's more than knockout punches. Now we got
now this is a TKO.
TKO.
So I've had people, I've tested their urine and they were acidic. So basically acidity is on a range of 5 to 9, okay? 5 to 8, let's say, in your urine. The more acidic we are, the more prone to inflammation we are. The more alkaline we are, the healthier it is. Now, it's very hard for the body to become alkaline completely. So we start taking greens products. We start taking some things that we try to help. But what we need to start thinking about first is cut your water from the source that's actually toxic. And you want to get alkaline water. So at least to change it. So I've had patients that came in, their pH has been at 5, which on the scale is low. That means they're acidic. And I've tried everything, every greens powder you can imagine. They were eating vats of minestrone. The only thing that changed their pH is once we looked at their toxicity, they changed their water and their alkalinity, and they put in a reverse osmosis with an alkalining cartridge and a remineralizing cartridge. And guess what happened? Their alkalinity went from 5 to 7. So you can test your urine. It's the best way to test to see your alkalinity.
Well, I think now that we're on site here, we should be testing some urine. Maybe I'll just go take a piss, test it right while we're sitting here. I know it doesn't
we
happen
should do
that
it right
way.
on the camera.
I know it. Oh, just rip it out. I know it doesn't happen that way. Chips at the beach. Matt, what do you mean by chips at the beach? What does that mean?
I saw a thing once on TikTok that one of the best snacks you can eat at the beach are chips because of the salt and losing electrolytes.
I like that. Very important.
Maybe you could explain to me what the hell our showrunner is talking about.
Well, okay. So what the salt content is, again, we talked about remineralizing the water. This is just on topic. This is great because reverse osmosis is going to demineralize the water. The water is going to have nothing. We live, everything we do as human beings on this planet, everything that our body right now, we are breathing, living without minerals, no enzymatic reactions take place. Our body fails, and we can't go to the gym. We can't wake up in the morning. There's no way we can burn fat. We can't metabolize minerals. And I'll just name a few. Magnesium, essential. There's a book called The Miracles of Magnesium. Brilliant. It is a miracle mineral. Zinc. Everybody hears about zinc now. It's a hot topic. But zinc is a cofactor for hundreds, if not hundreds and hundreds of biochemical reactions in the body that is extremely important. People know zinc is for the immune system, but zinc is important for everything from collagen production to the body's immune system to hormonal cofactors. Then you have things like copper, which zinc and copper have to be in balance. So if you take a zinc, you got to make sure you take copper, right? And it's really important, also sodium, potassium. Sodium's a big mineral. So we're in the sun for a long time.
And you lose all those things.
You lose all your electrolytes.
You lose all those things because you sweat. And so since you sweat out all the minerals.
You'll get dehydrated.
So the chips, let me see if I can make inference here. We can speed this up a bit. The chips then give you some of those things back because it has salt in it. It has maybe potassium in the potato.
I wouldn't eat chips. I just want to be clear, and I won't eat chips. But
what
there
is
are salty snacks that you can eat
At
that
the
are
beach.
really good at the beach.
Well, maybe for the sake of the fact that we're doing a podcast, maybe you could knock us out with a couple of examples.
Parmigiano Reggiano on the beach
Oh,
is probably
you
the
just-
absolute best
You
thing.
just rang my bell, baby.
Ding, ding.
I love a good Parmigiano. Coincidentally, just so we all know, and maybe for our listening audience, Marco is a partner in a cheese company, and I have wheels of Parmigiano Reggiano in our old site and where we used to shoot in that fridge. I have wheels. So, since Nature's Emporium or Wise Water isn't our sponsor yet, let's
Thank you for Marco
let's-
Tellerico and his sponsoring of
Our
our
sponsor-
Parmesan lunch.
No, our sponsor this week is Caro Foods. Let us know if you need some cheese. DM us. Contact us. That's the advertisement. Okay, so health
And olives.
olives is another one.
So olives and cheese on the beach are actually my go-to. If anybody sees me on the beach, they know that I
love
have
it.
an olive and cheese snack.
I love
Now,
it.
at times, and this is at times, if the quality is good and you can get a nice prosciutto di Parma, that's also something salty. It's proteinaceous. And I only use the organic one, but I'm sure there's a way for us to get the really good one. And usually Parma is usually the best place
Actually,
for it.
Right now we are submitting for an importing license to bring meats here from Italy, and there's two very different bureaucratic red tape tape that you have to get through, and that is, if you're going to do it's organic, it's way harder, and if it's just standard everyday Italian prosciutto, it's not as hard. My feeling is if it's from Italy and maybe they use less hormones and antibiotics and
Well, for sure. They're non-GMO for sure.
And they're
But
non-GMO, so-
doesn't mean that you're protected against glyphosate. I just want to make that very clear.
okay, so
Non-GMO
can we
is-
also test food? Can you also test food, or you have to test your urine on the way out?
No, we can test. There's organic acid testing that we have from a company.
I met. You know what I did? Last time we did a show for Truffle Kings, there was another booth that was right beside us, and it was a medical booth, and they test foods.
Yeah.
A testing.
The reason why we
company.
love truffles, and I'm going to say this, the reason why truffles are the most important thing and probably the best is because guess what? That ground where those truffles are coming from is like, you can't get more organic, and it's coming from the earth. And it's exactly what you need, full of vibrant minerals and extremely pungent. And these minerals that you can get from truffles, you can't get anywhere in the world. And there's a specific part of Italy that it's unaltered, untouched, and
Tuscany.
it's like the best.
Where Truffle Kings are from. Oh
And
my
there's
gosh.
no spraying of any part of this earth that comes from this.
You know why
region.
I love this episode? Because now I get to plug my next product, Truffle Kings. So I bring in truffles, and when we went to go do the market research for where the arbitrage lays in the marketing of truffles, you know where it lays? By exploiting the health benefits. Because everybody talks about truffles being expensive and hard to get, and the pigs and the dogs and whoever has to get them, which is mostly all myth. But no one ever talks about the health benefits of truffles. Truffles are amazing for you. Like mushrooms are amazing for you. And
Amazing.
truffles,
Anti-cancer properties. They fight cancer. They're going to help your immune system extremely. But I would like to make this point, and this is a very good point.
Knock me out, Mikey.
Good things are expensive. You want quality, you got to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Organic, because you can't get, think about it, on the planet. And I'm gonna start using some big references here. I want
Nothing's
you-
more organic than
Check
truffles.
this out. Check this out. I have, think about all the things that you try to achieve that you can control. Your fish. I buy only organic. It's not. It's a lie. My cattle. It's all organic. It's not. It's a lie. What's it fed? Who's putting it? There's always somebody down the road that's contributing to something else that you're consuming. How about the chicken story? That's a whole other disaster. What is the chicken being fed? When it comes to truffles, probably one of the last highly rich, mineralized, functional foods on the entire planet that is unaltered and undisturbed, and only by a specific animal that's going to find where it is. And once it gets into your hand, it's more natural than anything.
Hallelujah. No, but that's like me and him right now are doing content for Truffle Kings, and like I was explaining to you, they said if you want to get from $359 million market cap to the $859 million market cap they're assuming it's going to be in the next 7 years, the arbitrage lays in the marketing of it. You have to market the fact that truffles are good for you because, okay, fine, they taste amazing. Okay, fine, they're hard to get. Okay, fine, you have to be rich to have a big ball and big one like this. The most important thing is a few slices of truffle on your pasta with organic olive oil. Good pasta, of course. The
Healthy,
pasta, organic, expensive
organic,
one.
the good stuff. Artisan.
This guy's gonna make us go broke.
We should do little drops of truffle oil and put it in little droppers and have it as medicinal under the tongue, because I guarantee you it'll fight any infection, any virus, and any bacterial.
I have extra organic, extra virgin olive oil, truffle infused with slices of truffle in it.
Legitimate.
We'll put it here. We should put it here. Geo Foods right here. I need to put a few items here. The nighttime bio, my olive oil, certified organic olive oil.
We're gonna drop it under the tongue,
and we're gonna put it here. And you're dropping the tongue for just like this, and then to, hey, where do I get that? That tastes amazing. Right here at the front, there, sir. Available at Apple Med. How are we doing for time over here?
We're about 30 minutes in.
Oh, wait.
Next topic, I'm going to do hair growth with batana and onion juice for hair growth.
Have you heard of that?
Batana.
You
Batana.
betaine. I think in the context
Podcast.
of minerals, the body. I think if we talk about hair growth for men, specifically men or females, it has a lot to do with hormones.
I got no problem with hair growth.
No,
I'm
I
doing
clearly have an insufficiency of hair growth.
That's what we learned.
However, this is genetics, and it's okay. I'm okay. So I had an option to fly to Turkey. Apparently, there's 300 men that fly to Turkey on a plane, and they're completely bald. And when they come back for $5,000, they come back, they have a whole head of hair. And I'm not interested. This is me. This is who I am. We have our genes. They are somewhat dirty. The term is dirty genes. Our genetics, unfortunately, are predispose us. But it's what we do to try to mitigate it.
Hold on a second. I need to ask you this. Sorry, it's on the hair topic, so don't worry. It's fucking militant, this mother. Sorry, bad words. Listen, here's my question to you. What can't we? No, genetic predisposition. Like people tell me, I'm genetically predisposition to have problems with my prostate or my colon because my grandfather did. Both my grandfathers died of colon cancer, both of them. So, it isn't. What's the difference between genetic disposition to bad malatias versus deficiencies and just growing up with the environment that your father grew up in and then your grandfather grew up in, and having the same tap water or oils or type foods or type diets and type stresses and type hours of sleep? What is environment versus actual genealogy? Because to me, I think that I can break the cycle. I can find what I'm deficient in through Dr. Mike and become efficient in that thing and then not die of colon cancer.
This is going to be the best podcast we've ever had, and I'm going to tell you why. There's multiple levels on this. That's why it's amazing. This is a big one. Epigenetics, you said some awesome terms. We can break the cycle. Here at AppleMed, we test everybody's genomics. Marco will be doing his tests shortly after this podcast, and then we will have the report on our next podcast, and we're going to talk about the results and talk about how you, all of you, can put a fork in the road and make a U-turn, because yes, you can turn it around. Environment and exposure is extremely important and vulnerable, but if you know your genes and you know what you're predisposed for, you can make a difference.
You can fight it.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm living proof of this. Everybody in my family has heart disease. How is it that I don't? How do I know this? It's because I've been tested. Because my family had heart disease and clogged arteries, so they said, I need to get tested. So I was put through the medical system just as a warning track at being 45 years of age. And I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. And I approached the physicians and I said, look, you got the wrong guy. There's no way I have heart disease. And I know what my numbers are. And they said, no, it's genetics. You can't beat it. This is what you have to do. I said, okay, let's do the angiography. So I actually had to go in and do an cardiac angiogram, which is looking at my arteries. And you know what they found, Marco? You know what they found? At a 45-year-old.
You told me before.
Zero.
Yeah, you told me that before.
0 artery calcifications and 0 atherosclerotic plaques as of yet. So what you're saying about genetics, I made these changes when I was 18 and 19 years of age.
I gotta start now. Okay, can you do me a favor? Can we I love where we're going with this. I thank you very much, Matt, for being so proactive and giving us these topics. Want to pick one more?
I was just
cutting boards, and can you give us a brand recommendation? Gas your plastic cutting boards that give you micro.
Cutting boards, the only cutting board you should ever buy is a Cuisinart cutting board, and it has to be made of wood. You sterilize it using salt and sea salt after you wash it, and you let the salt integrate.
Yeah, but every chef, I'm sorry to disagree with you, but every chef under the sun will tell you to use plastic, because when you use chicken on wood, no matter what you do to it, unless you bleach it, unless you really get down and dirty with it, it's always going to carry a little bit of bacteria and salmonella.
That's for sure.
So there's got to be a safe, healthy, non-plastic emitting, but also not wood solution. And if there isn't, my friend, well, then
the only other solution is granite.
Granite.
Wow.
But
granite cutting board.
Well, it's non-porous. It's not easy. That's easy. It's non-porous. All those other things are porous. Plastic breaks off, and there's
the microplastics that we're accumulating in our body is ridiculous right now.
Yeah. So
and the cutting boards are a big culprit.
Yeah. Fuck, there's so many problems that we can't solve all at once.
Yeah, but you're right about cutting the chicken. You're right about cutting the chicken. Like, what do you cut the chicken?
Well, they say all meats.
But look at the butcher. Look at the butcher blocks. They've been using.
But they also are supposed to
use stainless steel.
No. First of all, they're supposed to use different ones, and they're supposed to clean like crazy. They have all rules. I don't know. Fuck. Sometimes I go to. Like I said, we're in the cheese business and we're in the food business, and sometimes I'm not going to name any names. But sometimes I go to these macellerias, these Italian guys. And Italian's supposed to be the cleanest. Bad. What is feedback? I would never walk in there and actually buy something.
How about this? I shouldn't
say that.
Let's come
customers.
Let's come to common ground. How about this? When you cut your meat and your chicken, you can use plastic. But when you're cutting your garlic, your parsley,
no, that's different.
When you're cutting the majority of your of all your vegetables, maybe you want to think to not use the plastic during that time, and maybe use the meat, because I use my wooden boards on my steaks.
No,
when they're cooked.
Don't get me wrong. I only use wooden boards. I don't use plastics. I don't. My wife won't even have it in the house. But I've been seeing more and more reports of for chicken and for meats to cut on plastic. Okay, so that's good. We had a lot of knockout punches today, Matt. Dr. Mike, I really enjoy our time together, and I can't wait till we get this whole set thing done, and we have our permanent set all the time, because I feel like we have made so much progress. And where I said that I admire people for doing podcasts, I admire you for sticking with it.
Thank you.
Because it's been hard to
Been
stick
tough.
with it.
And thank you for Truffle Kings for sponsoring this episode.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get my truffle oil.
No, it's going to be available at Dr. Mike's office, AppleMed Vaughn. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. And good health and good love.